sleeping on a pillow of solid rock, bathing in the city aqueduct.
Why was Steinbeck such an influence on you?
Well, it was a funny sort of thing because, I mean, in high school I read, you know, Mice and Men, and just like it was so hard to really perceive that material at the time, you know. I think later on when I through the film I went back, and then I went back and got the novel, yeah, the film, that I was at a point in my life where now I was looking for the rest of the pieces to the puzzle. You know, I'd sort of run out of my pop music answers, and I had achieved an enormous amount of personal freedom myself, you know, and I was looking for the implications of that freedom. Where does freedom gain its meaning? You know, how does it have meaning? How does your life have meaning, ultimately, you know? Is it just a pursuit of personal freedom, a pursuit of just doing what you want when you want to do it? It didn't feel like it was to me because I'd gotten there, you know, and it felt like it came up short, you know.
So where are your connections now? Because when you write about your childhood, your early life, you're drawing on your roots, you're drawing on your own personal experiences, life in the raw as you saw it. But now when you write about the modern equivalent of the victims of the Grapes of Wrath, what's your connection to them?
In some fashion, you're as remote as you want to be from the world around you, you know. Everybody draws those lines somewhat themselves, you know. And I've always said you can be as alienated with a six-pack of beer and a television set, you know. That's all it takes. You can find the relations to the characters I'm writing back on in The River album, in Darkness on the Edge of Town. You know, the skin color is different, but the social pressures and forces that shape those lives and those decisions remain the same. You know, it's just looking somewhere else. It seems we have the same recurring problems, and I believe that at some point they will reach critical mass. You know, I was in LA when the Los Angeles riots occurred, and I think that you can't ignore an enormous percentage of your population without paying a severe, severe price at some point down the road. This is a song about, I guess, self-knowledge. When I was around 22, felt like I really knew myself. But I suppose that was just evidence of how little I knew myself, you know. The road was filled with broken glass, gasoline. She was just a rag doll now. It was just a dream. Wind comes silent through the windshield. All I could see was snow and sky and pine. I closed my eyes and I was running. I was running, then I was flying.
There's a sense that that's partly why you've stripped your music right back. Is it so that people will focus more on the words?
It was a very clear way of communicating that. You know, I think without the drums and the band and the exhilaration that comes with just the pure physical exhilaration of rock music, it set the stories in a little more stark context, and I think it allowed people to sort of directly grasp what I was saying. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, meet me tonight in Atlantic City.
Is it true you tried to climb the fence at Gracelands?
I've had to tell the story 1,000 times. But yes.
Well, it's a good story.
I know, that's it. Everybody wants to hear it. Yeah, I was 25, and I was late at night, and I went to, I was just going to a luncheonette, actually, but I was with a Southern cab driver, and he said he knew a place to eat out by Elvis's, and so I said, me and Steve, my guitar player, oh, wait, take us to Elvis's, quick, please, you know? And he took us to Elvis's, and I stood outside the gate, and I saw a light on in the house, and he said, gee, I said, gee, I gotta go see if Elvis is home. And he said, son, don't do that. There's dogs over there, they'll eat you up. You know, he's got guard dogs. But I leapt up over the wall and ran up to the house anyway, and I got tossed out. But I always say, fans, don't do this to the...
Do you have any sense of what's next?
I'm not very good at planning what I'm doing. I think for things to come out nicely, you sort of you know, I'll write a few songs and then I'll listen to what they're telling me, you know, and then I'll follow that thing and I'll see where that takes me. And that's all, those are always the most interesting places. The minute you start to try and frame what you're doing in as far as somebody's concept of what's going to do well or what should be right for you now, that's sort of when, that's the wrong road. I always like to listen to what's coming out and follow it as best as I can. Hope my fans come with me.
Bruce Springsteen, thanks for talking with us.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you.